Namaste, angels. I have 2 client readings I'd like to do. The first is a repeat client of mine, a male. So I won't determine whether or not he's the divine feminine or masculine. Doesn't really matter. We both have, you know, each archetype has both. We are all androgynous at the soul level. In any case, he first came to me. He was partnered, and a lot of really, really strong energy between him and that partner. Strong love energy consistently over and over again. But they have yet to reunite, and he started seeing someone else. So I did a reading on he and that woman, and saw a lot of like karmic energy surrounding her, involving an ex, and just a lot of cords between them remaining. And sure enough, it turned out she was getting divorced, and you know, whatever. So she has that kind of situation going on. He just wants a follow-up. So I'm going to take like a little peek here. And then I'll go on to one more after this one. So I'm going to begin with the Page of Fire. He's a Capricorn though. I'm begin with the Page of Fire. So I don't remember if I knew the female's sign or not. But she may be a fire sign. I don't know. We're just getting started. I'm beginning with this. Page of Fire is outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. Also, for me, a Sagittarius, but it can be a Leo or Aries or anybody taking on those traits or attributes, even a Scorpio, and perhaps a younger one, if it is a Scorpio. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. And opening to the 9 of Air, but this one wanted to be seen too. I like almost open to it, as if you can see there. The 9 of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies and sleepless nights. So this is like staying up all night, unable to get rest, worry. But it's a lot of potentially manifesting negativity into your own life, like focusing on negative. And also renewal. Speaking of the sign of Scorpio, renewal is judgment in the traditional tarot. Judgment for me represents the planet Pluto, which does rule Scorpio. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Judgment as it relates to relationships, romantic and otherwise, is about having come to a crossroad, and there's a need to decide like where we're going from here, if anywhere. Page of Fire. And the Sun, which also represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, or Leo, Aries, or yeah, probably that's about it for those. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. The Sun. And the Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. The Ace of Air is about, it's victory. It's victory, it's a new beginning, but yeah, it's considered to be one after we've gone through, you know, maybe some really difficult times. I think it's best to just focus on the victory and maybe not so much on the difficult times, but that's the way that the card comes through and tends to be read. The Sun. And the 7 of Fire, defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. 7 of Fire is a card where they ask us to decide for ourselves, like from what we're going to walk away without giving any of our, any of our energy, lending any of our energy to it, and what we're going to address. It's up to us to decide. And coming to the Knight of Fire, who is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. The Knight of Fire, like the Page, it can be a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, maybe even a Scorpio, or anybody taking on these traits or attributes of any zodiac sign. Very passionate, to the rescue. When it's the Knight of Fire in particular, it's like the Prince of Wands, and he like saves the princess. And I got that Scorpio coming up yet again. The overall energy is release or death, which also represents the sign of Scorpio. or perhaps another water sign, Pisces, Cancer. The end of a phase or a situation. Spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. So we need to like let go of something. Something may be gone forever. At best, it's changing and it's never going to be as it was again. I like the energy of death. People are put off by it sometimes. They see it as a negative card. I see it as a positive card. Similar to that Ace of Air. It's like it's new beginnings. You know, so how can that be negative? A fresh start. How can a fresh start be negative? But it's like a fresh start after something has to end. And sometimes people have there's two here. I'm going to leave them both. Sometimes people have difficulty like letting go of something and allowing for change. Change can be scary, right? Change can be difficult, challenging. The Queen of Water also represents the sign of Scorpio for me. As a fixed sign, the queens tend to be more associated with the fixed signs, and Scorpio is the fixed sign of the element of water. Of course, again, this can also be a Pisces or a Cancer or anybody taking on these traits of attributes of any zodiac sign. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving is the Queen of Water. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Surrounded by the Knight of Water. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative is the Knight of Water. Also a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer like the Queen. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event maybe. With ego or the devil, which represents the planet Saturn and like the restrictive energy of Saturn and the sign of Capricorn as well. That restriction. And actually today, well, no longer today, yesterday, Mercury entered Capricorn. And so when I was seeing yesterday that 9 of air that we saw a moment ago, like the 8 of air, to me that those two cards like totally illustrated the energy of Mercury in Capricorn, as far as I'm concerned. Because the devil, or ego, is about a false sense of entrapment and being overly focused on material things. Even also negative or fear-based thoughts. So similar to that 9 that I was saying, manifesting negativity into our own lives. This water energy is very, very strong. We did have a Scorpio moon yesterday too, and I think the day before as well, but I don't believe so today. So this is interesting. The Page of Water tends to represent the sign of Pisces for me, but can be a Cancer or Scorpio, or again, any zodiac sign. Feeling particularly emotional, loving perhaps. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly is the Page of Water. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, right? Because an old phase, something died, ended, and that's how it becomes a new phase. And when I picked up the Death card from the overall energy here, underneath it is the Chariot with Archangel Metatron. An important achievement, some more victory like the Ace of Air, self-discipline and willpower, and maybe even public recognition. The Chariot represents the sign of Cancer, or other water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, and indicates that we are in the driver's seat of our own lives. Not only like we're willing participants, but we're in control. We're victorious over things that were trying to hold us back and restrict us before, perhaps like this, or the 9 of air. There are more cards up right under here. More fire, which again, right now, particularly can represent Scorpio as well for me, with Mars, the red planet, very active right now and very close to Jupiter, which is not a red planet, but rules another red sign, another fire sign, Sagittarius. The two of them very close right now, very active. But Mars rules Scorpio. It rules both Aries and Scorpio. This can also be, again, an Aries or Leo or Sagittarius or anybody taking on these traits or attributes. The Queen of Fire is also the divine feminine of the tarot. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. And under that, also upright, is the World with Archangel Michael. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, and the path toward enlightenment. The World, for me, not only is it does represent a party of three, which is potentially a love triangle, but doesn't have to be. It's any type of third energy that can be involved and perhaps restricting, blocking you. But the World is similar to the Tower, with the exception of the amount of time that it allows for, an event, right, to occur. With the Tower, something's very, very abrupt, right? The universe is stepping in very, very quickly and turning your life upside down, good or bad, which ultimately is always good, at least in my opinion. The World was sort of eased out. So over a period of time, you are pulled out of, one job and you find another, or you're eased out of one relationship and you start to roll into another, that sort of thing. But for me, it's also, I call it like my waiting to exhale card. Have you ever seen the movie Waiting to Exhale or heard the expression? Like you can finally go like, like that sigh of relief, because just finally, after like a long, tumultuous sometimes period, finally, like you can breathe easy again because the universe stepped in to help. And what they stepped in to help is maybe to take some of the weight off your shoulders. Also up right behind that is the Ten of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that can lead to stress-related health concerns. So again, there may be a fire sign involved here. All this fire can represent the planets that are stepping in, the karmic energy itself. Jupiter, the planet of karma, again, ruler of Sagittarius. So that there's all that fire energy there. And also the last one up right behind those is the Seven of Fire. Not really a fan of this one. This is your second seven, by the way. Sevens can also indicate like clashes and things as far as I'm concerned. Seven of Air, it represents the energy of joy stealing for me. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be, just an energy that's surrounding with it. It's plan, job, like it works to take away your peace and your joy. It steals, and it can be actual theft, represent actual theft and people taking things from you. Sometimes not only material things, like again, like your peace of mind, right? Your kindness, taking advantage. Plans and need revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. As it relates to relationships, I guess particularly romantic, it can represent trust issues. And it can be trust issues in oneself, like lacking confidence too. Surrounded by Awakening, another party of three type of cards. Speaking of party of three type of cards, I still got these in my hand. I'm putting them back. This goes here. Right? Yeah. Page of Water. Oh, no. See what I did? The Seven of Air was the last card that was up right here. That's what it is. And underneath that is the King of Fire, but he is upside down. Okay. So Awakening's the Hangman in the traditional tarot. It can represent an air of suspension, like we're in a holding pattern right now. We can't move forward because something, but like we know that it's temporary. And things are going to get moving again. So it's a good opportunity to take advantage of the little break and take a step back and review and look at the big picture and make sure we're on the right path and all that kind of stuff. Awakening, or the Hangman, for me represents the planet Neptune, which is the ruler of Pisces, and can represent that like very fantasy-like or confusing type of energy. And that's why you got to like take a step back and look again. Look at things from a different perspective. If you're at a temporary standstill, it's important to be yourself. Very, very important to be like fully honest and wholly yourself in this moment where you're being afforded the opportunity to take another look. So this water energy, very, very strong. I only see, the masculine energy is here represented by Major Arcana. So that is also very, very strong, even though it's only one card. His earth energy, his Capricorn energy, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of water going on here. So these two cards that wanted to come out life experience, or the Tower, which I just spoke about a little bit, and the 9 of Earth. So this can be all of a sudden single, maybe all of a sudden really breaking away from that ex that she had, or that person that she was divorcing. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So that can be like, spread your wings when you're alone, you're taking off on your own, you're leaving the nest, so to speak. It's not her parents' house, but, she's off on her own now. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. And we do have this her earth here now, mirroring the masculine's earth. Crowning, the 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. At the root, another 8, it's the 8 of fire, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. This can be because like the cords were cut here. It's like the loosening of the reins. And again, on this side you had, or as underneath the overall energy, you had the Chariot, where you're taking the reins, the two of you, like of your own lives. Again, the driver's seat. And at the heart of the matter, the Ace of Water, falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. The Ace of Water can represent a reuniting, like a reconciliation, or a brand new relationship, or a brand new start to, something else that's going to make you emotionally happy and fulfilled. It can even be like a new job, a new place to live, something that's going to bring you great joy and, help to dispense with worry. We are going to clarify these with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels, beginning with trust. And as I was shuffling these, I did see release your ex quite a few times, actually. Beginning with trust, which can be connected perhaps to that 7 of air, which can be about distrust and lack of confidence, so lack of trust in oneself too. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And opening to playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Playfulness and deception. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Playfulness. Like, I wasn't sure if she had, and I don't mean to say this like to suggest that it was malicious, but I wasn't sure if she had revealed everything the last time I did a reading. I felt that there was, and it may have even showed up, I don't remember the card, but I remember feeling that there was something that wasn't clear here. And again, it's not necessarily that it was like intentional. Maybe she didn't even realize herself that there was something that she needed to face and be honest about. Codependency certainly showed up, and here it is again. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. These can be traditional, what we would consider addictions when we think of the word addiction, like substance abuse and stuff, but it doesn't have to be. It can be any person, place, or thing upon which we have a toxic relationship, or with which we have a toxic relationship, a codependent attachment. It can be a combination of things, more than one thing. Codependency. And pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, the red flags on the table would be this 8 of fire. That's kind of it. And that would indicate that there is karmic energy, like 8s can represent karma as well. And there's movement. And again, Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a fire sign. This can be tied again to karma, not just because it's an 8, but because of it may be connected to Sagittarius. And for me, the 8 of fire on wands, not just in this deck, but in the tarot period, tends to represent or made me think about 8, like of Cupid's arrows being hurled at somebody. And then Cupid is Sagittarius for me too. Cupid, Venus's son. So I say all that to say there's like movement behind the scenes about which we're perhaps unaware, and at least in this consciousness, the 3D consciousness, and that can have to do with maybe some things that we weren't exactly forthcoming about too, because maybe we weren't really aware of those either. That could be why we need to take a step back as well. Codependency. This, I don't want to make it sound like I'm only like jumping on the feminine. This card doesn't only represent the masculine's zodiac sign, his sun sign, but it represents codependent relationships too, and restrictive energy as well. Codependency. I'll go one more. We're back to trust. So on this note, I will cut. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Trust. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. The overall energy is reconciliation, which is awesome. Someone from your past is returning to your life. I gotta be honest though. I'm just feeling like it can very much so be reconciliation between this divine masculine and this divine feminine. But I am very much feeling that for it to be that, it is because and only made possible by this energy of death, which is karmic as in of the universe, and in combination with our free will and grabbing our life by the reins and, you know, not being in control in the sense that we're forcing anything, but just being more active in the participation and navigation of our own lives, the direction that we're taking, the path that we're on, and the choices that we're making. So it's a conscious choice. It's our will, our free will, as they say, to decide. I'm hearing like this ringing all of a sudden too. It's from the right side. I don't know what that's in connection with yet. Free will to decide where we're going here, right? And here, right, crowning this union, we have a desire to move on and the search for something more meaningful. So I think that these two people are looking for something, each separate and apart from one another, looking for something. And could very well find it together, but that would have to be a conscious decision. Like this female, perhaps the divine feminine, may need to be single for a minute, and that doesn't mean that they can't continue, is what I'm saying. The old way that their relationship existed and that they each existed as individuals would need to be allowed to die and to transform into something more befitting of them and healthier for them as a couple. Otherwise, who we're pulling in here is a water sign. And I'm just not feeling necessarily that it's this. I'm not feeling that it can't be. I'm just not feeling that it definitely is. So that's why I said, if it is, it's her in a different way. it's even him in a different way, and it's their relationship being formed anew too, in a new way too. Very, very new. But that explains, I guess, the Ace of Air too. It is a fresh start, but like it was difficult getting here, perhaps, and we had to go through a metamorphosis individually and together to reach it. Here atop, the Queen of Water. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This can have more than one meaning. It can be about an imbalance with the masculine. An emotional imbalance. Like he needs alignment. But there can also be, again, a relationship that has to be allowed to die. This is very Scorpio and death energy. That has to be allowed to completely die. And then, because there's not enough love or oomph there to keep that one going, but maybe we can have something different, a new relationship. Atop the Knight of Water, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So 2 cards thus far for the masculine about working on oneself or nurturing oneself, and maybe, again, getting balanced out, focusing on you. Atop, ego, flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So like break away from this confinement. Atop the Page of Water, retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And it's mirroring this unrequited love and this potential, again, imbalance. I think there needs to be some meditation. Yes, break away from the world and nurture yourself, and, you know, go within, again, do some meditation, connect with the earth. Atop of Awakening, this is about taking another look. It says keep an open mind. So when we take that look, we're going to need to like be optimistic as well going into it. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, which can also, again, be connected to someone changing, or the situation changing. It has to. It's not going to work if it doesn't. If it does not, that I absolutely feel. Atop this 9 of Earth and the Tower is new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, and that's what I mean. Like, if it's if it's the same woman, it's her new. It's her in a different way, with the old energy having died. But you would each have to allow it to happen and each go through your own. I hope I'm making sense. Because sometimes when stuff is coming in and I'm just rattling off, I'm not sure how it's coming out. Atop the 8 of Water, children. Your love life is being affected by children. Cups cards can often represent children for me. But I don't know if this can have more than one meaning too, because more so than children, it's about you guys. And again, like starting off anew, like your babies, you're fresh, your new start, and wanting to go in a different direction than you had been before completely. Again, separately and perhaps together. Atop the 8 of Fire, wow, a wedding. This situation involves marriage. That can definitely have to do with the female's divorce too. That's one of the things where the situations where things are going on behind the scenes and moving quickly, delays are over. Finally, there's movement in that area, allowing for the death, you know, of the past energy. So we can start again. Atop the Ace of Water, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So blocking a new start are these like negative emotions and or cords of attachment. Also, again, for either or both of you, a person with whom you have a codependent relationship may be an actual water sign. Or the person you're being blocked from may be a water sign. The next card is upright. Let's use it to look at the codependency a little further. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So that's why you're being given an opportunity to take a step back here so that you can figure out what it is you want. And also here where you're being guided to love yourself first and then see what's happening. This is also crossing the unrequited love. I got to think about this. Is this what I really want? Am I sure? Maybe did I jump into this too fast? Did I not jump into it fast enough? You know, maybe I need to change some things, allow some of the energy that's holding me back to die so that I can do this a little bit differently. Maybe I want to go in lighthearted now. Maybe not so Capricorn-like, maybe more Virgo-like, right? The more youthful of the earth element. The next one's upside down, but let's see if we can find one for children. Yeah. Like I said, I felt it being more so representing you guys. If there are children involved, that's just another meaning. Because it's you guys starting off fresh. And to do that, you're being given this new opportunity to express yourselves too. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And I want to do one more. Let's do this unrequited love. It's safe for you to love. This can be, again, imbalance, emotional imbalance, and which is attached to fear. So this is guiding you that like you can let go of that, allow that to die. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And now the next one's upside down again. I'm just going to use these for your advice instead. So the angels further say to you that Ace of Air is back. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation. So something comes out or becomes more clear to you. And you do get a new beginning, perhaps after some challenges. The Sun is also back. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. If you have confidence in yourself, so letting go of that lack of confidence, that 7 of air, that 9 of air. If you have confidence in yourself, everything does work out in the end. Like keep pushing forward. From the romance angels to the masculines, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. That can be another meaning for children. A relationship with your parents that is affecting your relationships with others. Or maybe the relationship that didn't exist with your parents that's affecting your relationship with others. All of that is going toward who you are and who you're becoming as well. So your love life doesn't just benefit as you forgive your parents. It's any and everybody that is so impactful upon your life that you've been unable to move forward without resolving a relationship with them. So what you're going to want to do, at least in my opinion, is either repair that relationship if you can, or walk away from it. So here's where the 7 of fire wands comes back into play too, where I was saying you're gonna have to decide, to what you give your energy or not, and that's gonna be up to you. That's what this is about as well. And lastly, for the feminine, separation. Yeah. That's this. Okay. Things moving here. And maybe needing to separate from you to, and when I say separate, and I think what separation is, it's many things. It's most of all an illusion. You know, time and all these things are relative, especially when we're talking about the universe. And separation doesn't have to mean, you know, no contact and no whatever. It just means like some time and space to ourselves, to work through some things. So it can be that too. Again, in great part, it's up to you. It's free will. It definitely has to do with her separating from this other energy, though, because you guys had a lot of threes, and she's got this 3 sitting right under here. I bet you find this helpful and that you enjoy it. Namaste, Angel.